Ladies and gentlemen, we are live from the Isle of Man in the UK. This is John and Mike's MMA Corner.
Valor Fights has got one of them bouts on. It's a someone's O has got to go. And I have Mr. Brandon Webb, sir. You're joining me. You're taking on Ronnie Lawrence for the vacant Valor Bantamweight title on the 14th of May. I'm pretty sure you're very confident you're going to keep your O.
Yes, sir. I'm very confident.
Now, your opponent in Ronnie Lawrence, have you bothered to look into him at all? Have you left that to your coaches? What's your kind of knowledge on your opponent?
Ronnie is a tough guy. I'm not too worried about where the fight's going to take place. I'm going to make it my fight. I'm better in every aspect. I've just been training hard. I'm in the best shape I've ever been in, and I'm ready to take them.
Now you've had, obviously you've had some very good experience with your pro fights, fighting on a very good promotion and legacy. Do you feel that's kind of put you in good stead coming onto the Valor card? You'd be quite relaxed, especially now that you've had a couple of pro fights under your belt. That kind of pro level stage. Do you feel like that kind of relaxing into the bouts now has come through so far in yourself?
Yeah, this will be my 13th fight in MMA, my second pro fight. I'm ready to get going and make a statement. My last two fights were just warm-ups for me. I have a lot more to show than I have in my last two fights, and I'm ready to go out there and make a statement.
When obviously going into the pro ranks, were you glad that you got the good kind of ring time and got yourself kind of, let's say in the groove of the pro kind of game? Because the strategy, I've said before, I'll say it again, the strategy in the pro ranks and the amateur ranks are two different strategies, because the big factor is the times. Going 3-minute rounds in an amateur fight, I'm not being, you can keep a good pace, you can keep a good high tempo.
Right.
When it comes to 5-minute rounds, you have to be a bit more economic with your movement, a bit more sensible about how you're going to put your output, because that's an extra 6 minutes if you go all 3 rounds. Have you found that then these past couple of fights you've got yourself to this knowledge of when you know how far you can push yourself, when to push yourself?
Yeah, it's definitely different. It's a lot more time, so I do pace myself a little more. My cardio is pretty good in all of my fights. Cardio is not an issue, so I should have pushed myself a little bit more. I always loved to get the finish, but my last two fights it hasn't came out that way. But yeah, I can go 5 rounds, 3 rounds, however long the fight takes. I can do it. Like I said, cardio is not an issue. I always push to finish the fight though.
Yeah, I was going to say it's one of them ones where it's experience as well, especially in the pro game. If you're winning the fight, there's no need to push for the finish if the finish isn't there, let's say. It's something that comes with maturity in the cage, that ring time. If you were inexperienced, you might have tried looking for that finish, which could have ultimately been your downfall.
Right. I normally don't rush into things too much. I like starting off slow, but in these last couple fights, I haven't pulled the trigger how I wanted to. I have a lot more to show than I have in any of my previous fights. This fight, it's going to be a performance you would not want to miss for sure. I'm going to go out there and show all my tools on my toolbox and try to put this guy away quick.
Do you think there's a reason why you didn't pull the trigger in the past couple of fights then? Is there maybe just something mental, like a mental block, was it? Or do you feel that you weren't maybe, let's say, the word I suppose I could use was confident about, letting go, let's say?
It might just be that it's my first couple fights as a pro. I was maybe getting used to it, warming up a little bit, but that won't be a factor in this fight. This is my third fight as a pro, so I'm warmed up, ready to go. Like I said, my last two fights were warm-up fights for me. This fight, I'm going to let it all go and show my true skill and try to put this guy away quick.
Now, obviously, then, what have you done in training then to kind of obviously prepare yourself for the title fight? Have you done anything different? Have you tried to add new things, or are you just basically happy with the way things are at the moment, the structure, and just keeping it going?
I've been pushing. I always every training camp's the same. I push myself. Every camp I had a couple more tools in my toolbox, and I just sharpen the skills I already have. Yeah, my cardio is always great. I'm always ready to get 3 rounds, 5 rounds, however long the fight takes. There's no difference between this camp, last camp. I train everybody the same. I just react when I'm in the cage. I don't train specifically for anybody. So I'm ready for anybody. The opponent could change tomorrow. I'll still be ready.
It's a good place to be like that, in the sense that you're mentally in the right place for fighting anyone, like you said. Because the fight game, it's so common, isn't it, that people drop out, and it's not, it's not a sly on any opponent. It just happens that this sport, training wise, it's absolutely brutal on your body. Like, I've done training camps, and I admit, at the end of the training sessions, I literally lay there and I just can't get myself up off the ground. I just lie there and go, I'll be good. I need like half an hour to lie down and get up.
Yeah, training, MMA is a very tough sport. Training is very tough. I push myself very hard in every training session. So, yeah, I try to hit my peak in every training session. So, when the fight comes, the fight will be easy. And I always make sure training is way harder than the fight.
Yeah.
By the time I get to the fight, it's easy, and it's just time to let go and show all my skills.
Well, the thing is, yeah, like you said, that you're looking to express yourself a lot more, open yourself up. It sounds awesome that you've got that mentality to know that you didn't release everything, but you've got the kind of confidence and mindset to do so in this next fight.
Yeah, my last couple fights, I've won the fight. I win the fights pretty. You can tell I won the fights, but I know in myself that I have a lot more to show, and I just gotta pull the trigger. And I feel I'm at that point where I'm just ready to let go and finish put this guy up like I've been doing as an amateur.
Look, what have you? Well, I want to ask, how do you train? And what I mean by that is, do you cross-train? Do you train at different places? Do you have one gym where you are at that you cover everything? Do you get guys in? Give myself, and also people listening, an idea about what your kind of training setup is like.
My home gym is Contemporary Martial Arts in Hartwell, Georgia. That's my home gym, but yeah, I go up to Revolution Martial Arts with Justin Scoggins, Sarah McMahon, all them. I train with them. I go up to Hardcore Gym in Athens. Yeah, I cross-train. I cross-train quite a bit. I try to make it to each gym at least a couple times a week. So, yeah, that's a big part of my training.
Hey, smart man. I've always been a firm believer that, cross-training is a good thing to do. Of course, everyone has their own point of view. I spoke to some fighters that said, if you're not, you shouldn't have to move gym to feel like you need to get more out of yourself. You should be able to get up from where you're at. But I've always had the point of view is, if you're looking at the same thing over and over again, sometimes you can't see the errors or the mistakes. By going to somewhere else, like another coach's eyes, just a fresh pair of eyes on something can sometimes see things that maybe you just overlook at the time, And I'm sure that when you go to these different places, every time you get something different out of each gym, each even when you're sparring, I'm sure the feedback you get from your training partners is always a bit different.
Right, yeah, that is a big part of it. If you just train at your gym the whole time and you get used to how everybody fights and this and that, you don't really get many holes exploited because you're used to your training partners and whatnot. So it's good to travel and get a different look on things and have other people that fight differently that you're not used to exploit some of your holes so you can work on things to make yourself a better fighter.
So look, Brendan, when you're not training and you actually get a little bit of free time, what's the thing you like to do when you're on your downtime? What kind of things do you like to enjoy to do?
I like hanging out with friends, seeing movies, bowling. I like doing all sorts of stuff. I'm an adrenaline junkie, so anything that gets my adrenaline going, I love doing. But anything really.
You should go down training with Donald Cerrone down at his ranch.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I'd love to.
Yeah, exactly. Do a bit of training. Yeah, we're gonna go out on jet skis. Yeah, do some crazy shit.
Yeah,
be awesome.
yeah, that's the kind of stuff I love to do.
Hey, look, that's the thing about this sport. It is like it's a bit of it's an adrenaline junkie sport, I think, as well. Because yeah, it is. Yeah, and that's, I suppose it comes hand in hand with the sport. You know, if you do this sport, you probably do like to get a bit of a buzz out of life in other aspects of that you do. It's just something that's part and parcel of it. Look, I'm going to get the idea then that 2016, obviously, I should be looking out for your name. Not only this fight coming, but I'm guessing that you're going to try and make as big a splash as you can on the regional scene, and people should be taking a notice of you, I'm guessing.
Oh yeah, 2016 is my year. I'm going to put my name out there. I'm making a statement. I'm coming for the UFC. That's my goal. And once I get in the UFC, I'm going to become the champ. I always look to be at the top, and that's where I'm headed.
Look,
just one step at a time. But 2016 is my year.
Oh man, with the bantamweight division, there's some great fighters in there at the top level. When you look at Cody Garbrandt, Thomas Almeida, Dominic Cruz, Uriah Faber, T.J. Dillashaw, John Lineker is now in that mix as well. John Dobson's also in that mix. You got some fun fighters in that weight class. It's just fun guys to watch. You know, you're pushing yourself to get up to that level, and I'm certain that, you know, when you come to the Valor Fights, you're going to put a great show on for the crowd. There's a strap at the end of that fight for the winner. It's, you know, going to set up 2016 very well. So before you shoot off now and get on with the rest of your day, let people at home know what your social media is, and me as well, so we can jump on, give you a follow, and join you on your little journey.
Yeah, you can follow me on Instagram and Twitter at B_Webb, WEBB826. And, yeah, I'm ready to get this strap, and many more to come.
Okay, what about sponsors, man? Have you got any sponsors that are helping you out?
Yes, I do have sponsors. I want to thank Green Tree Metals, Charlie Shell. I want to thank Morgan Stables, Thomas Pilot Service, Pucks, Georgia Bulls, Fight Junkie, Contemporary Athletics for my great CrossFit and cardio exercises, Fireplaces of Lake Hartwell, the Hardcore Gym and Revolution, and number one, I want to thank my team, because I wouldn't be where I am without my team.
Awesome. I was going to say your team. Do you want to give a shout out to like the gyms and whereabouts they are, and just so obviously then people, if they're around those areas, they can maybe go and train and learn martial arts, not even just to compete, but just to learn it as a great hobby.
Right. Yeah. Your team is a big part. You need a team to get farther in the game. You can't do it by yourself. So definitely.
Oh, so what are the gyms, Brendan? Give them a shout out.
The Revolution Martial Arts in South Carolina, the Hardcore Gym in Athens, and my main gym, Contemporary Martial Arts. I'm going to thank all of them. I couldn't be where I am without them.
So where is Contemporary Martial Arts? Whereabouts?
It's in Hartwell, Georgia.
There you go.
Small town in Georgia.
Right. If you are in that area, if you're in that area, folks, get down. You know, get down and meet Brendan, train, enjoy the sport, learn about the sport. You don't have to compete just because you train in it. You can do it just as a great hobby to keep fit, and you know it works your brain, never mind your body. There's so much information to absorb. It's incredible. Look, Brendan, have a great fight at Valor's fight card. Have a great time. Enjoy that weekend. Enjoy the experience. 2016. I want you to have a fantastic year.
Thank you. I will be bringing that strap back. I'm going to put on fireworks. You will not